Hey, welcome to Greenlight. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all of you out there. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, all the merriest to all of you and your family as well. Today we're talking about something that I'm very excited to talk about. It's a minimalistic cinema rig. Basically, it's a minimalistic cinema camera. And we're going to be talking about it here today, how I have it all set up and what I did to modify it to make it into a powerhouse cinema camera in such a small package. So it's kind of awesome, my wife letting me do this kind of again in a sense, because I did this with I had done this before with my smartphone, which is the phone I'm currently using right now as a camera for Greenlight for these videos and for YouTube. But basically, this is going to be my cinema camera for when I do anything with music videos, commercials, and or feature film work and stuff like that. So let's bring it in closer here. So what I have here is the XT30 from Fujifilm, and I love how their cinema look is patented by Fujifilm, so nobody can copy their look. And this is all a patent for 35mm and for actual film, like a film negative. So they brought that over into a digital, and no one could touch them on this, basically. So their sensor is so different than everybody else just on the cinema looks alone. The sensor is an APS-C sensor, which I have said here before on my last video, which I'll have at the end of this video. So I have the camera here, and basically I have a camera, like a hood for the monitor as well, so that I can have that all hooked up together, and I can see what I'm recording, and I don't have any glare from the sun or anything like that, and I can see it perfectly and make sure that everything is in focus. So I have that as well. Up here you see is just the charger and stuff like that, so I won't take that out. But right here, this is one of my pride and joy between these lenses. Basically, this is used lens. It's got scuff, and it's got like a lot of like hits and stuff like that on the edges and stuff like that. You see it's not like evened right there and stuff like that. And then inside, if you look inside of the lens, it's kind of like cracked over here on the right, basically on your left. So on the left here. As you can see, this is a Fujifilm XT30 with a Helios 58mm lens, 44 to 58mm lens, and it has a Futasi lens adapter for it as well for Fujifilm. And I have a lens hood here for when I have any kind of like sun or glare or anything like that as well on here. So it's really cool, all this type of stuff, when I put it all together. We're gonna check out some footage in a little bit. Let's just talk about the 58mm Helios here real quick. With this being a vintage lens, and doing what a lot of $5,000 to $10,000 or even more, they can go all the way up to like $50,000 price points for these cinema lenses that big studio uses. So to get their lens flares and their bokeh that you would like, you have to get this lens. This is the most famous lens right now on the market, and it's not even in the market. You got to get it through eBay or in vintage circles for lenses. Look in your local Goodwills, Salvation Armies, anything like that. You know, garage sales and stuff like that too, if you know anybody that's into photography and stuff like that as well, or you see anything with old photography kind of stuff and look almost like this. This is a new camera, by the way. So this is an XT30, Fujifilm XT30. It only shoots up to like 30 frames per second when it comes to 4K images, and then 60 frames for 1080p, which is not bad for such a small camera and under $1,000. So you can get this for under $1,000 currently right now just to body the camera right now, and then use the rest of the money to purchase yourself some vintage lenses that are really good. So this is $50 on eBay. So go ahead and check it out on eBay right now. In the description below, I have links for everybody to check out for all the things that I purchased here. This lens hood, you'll find it on Amazon as well. And this is kind of a funny story too. This one's actually a funny story. I was looking at Sony DSLR like accessories and stuff like that, and this popped out. I was checking out Sony accessories and stuff like that, and then this popped out to me on Amazon. And what was awesome is that it had a better kind of like more of a boxy kind of look to it, more of a filmmaking kind of look to it, because all the other ones that I've seen on Amazon for other DSLR cameras looked kind of janky, so I just didn't go for it. So I'm glad I went for this one. So let's quickly put on the other lens that I bought too, and we'll discuss it as well. So as you can see here, this is the Takumar 28 to 80 millimeter lens, macro lens actually. So it's a zoom lens, and it has macro abilities on it too as well. So that's another key feature and a big thing that is huge when it comes to independent filmmakers and vintage lenses and people into vintage lenses as well, is the macro feature. They say big time to look into the macro feature. This lens here also has a Fujifilm adapter as well, and it stays fixed on here because since these are cheap adapters, for some reason it doesn't want to come off. I tried it when I went to Miami for Thanksgiving, which we'll see some footage. I forget what this is called exactly, but it's a leveler. My grandfather and my dad used to call it a leveler. Basically, I have that there so I know when I'm not leveled or anything like that, when I'm all freehand. My sister had a vintage lens there that I wanted to try out, and it was also a Takumar Pentax lens, but I couldn't get it off of this zoom lens, and that's most likely because the Fujifilm kind of is a cheap kind of lens, but it's still worth it and for what I need it for. And so I let it just kind of sit here, and it stays here fixed onto my zoom lens, and I kind of consider that as well with the Helios as well, even though it comes on and off with no problem, and I've tried that with no problem. Now right now you're going to see some footage that I have taken on Thanksgiving with my family, and it's just a little bit of footage here and there telling you which lens is what, so you can see what this looks like, and you get to see some settings as well afterwards as well. So it's really cool here, all that footage that you saw with my family. Currently, my parents have moved from that home already, so they don't live there anymore, which is kind of all the purpose that I could even show it here on YouTube. So I did show it here on some test footage and stuff like that, which is what I wanted to do, which is also some low light test footage, if you notice too, as well, for the Fuji XT30, which is something a lot of people are talking about too, that I can't do low light very well. I believe it did a phenomenal job with the footage that you saw there, and that was already a compressed footage that you're seeing that I already had re-edited into my phone with iMovie. So all of this whole video is edited on my phone and iMovie. So if it looks phenomenal to you, hopefully it's in 4K. It might not be in 4K, but this video is mainly to inform you how good it looks, and as a filmmaker, and choosing a good price point, and not going over your budget or buying things that are unnecessary just because it looks cool. This looks cool already, and I didn't purchase too much. I bought something that was important, and I bought something that was less important for very, very minimal price. $10 is nothing for this, and you can check out in the description below for all these things as well, including the case. The case right now, the case itself, it should be $30. When I bought it for because this is the same exact case that I purchased on Amazon for my Rode wireless microphone, that you can go ahead and check out here on this channel too as well, which I'll leave at the end of this video. You'll see it there, and you'll also see a breakdown of the body of this XT30 that I have, that I'll leave a video at the end of this video as well too. So both of those videos, you can go ahead and check them out. So this is $30 currently online, and it used to be like 20 or something when I bought the Rode. So let's break this down. So as you can see here, this is my minimalistic cinema rig. So I hope this was informative for you, and you thought it was very, very cool setup. Let me know down in the comments down below, and if it's helpful for you, so you understand that you don't really need to go big or go home in a sense when you're doing micro budget filmmaking and stuff like that. And you still can get phenomenal footage from a lot of these 4K cameras, and you can get 4K images phenomenal from your iPhone currently that you're looking at right now, and you saw some footage from this camera as well, and it's all under $1,000 as well. So let me know what your thoughts are on that, and in the description below you're going to find all the links on Amazon for all of these things that you see here, everything that you saw here on this video. So I hope you're having a happy holidays, and I will see you here next time. Later.